Yachats is on the central Oregon coast, about 150 miles southwest of Portland. We have come to hike the Amanda Trail, commemorating a tragic event in Oregon's history, which occurred in 1864.
We are not young. We are not in a hurry. We like to study the landscape features and the small details, the flora, the fauna, the long arc of geological history.
We believe, like Aristotle, that in all things of nature there is something of the marvelous. We are Elizabeth and Terry. We are two on a trail. So we're at the start of this hike. This is a part of the Oregon Coast Trail that connects between Yachats and Cape Perpetua. It's kind of a beautiful day in February.
We know how to pick them.
One of those rare days, maybe not so rare, on the Oregon coast where you get sunshine. So we'll see what we see. We are walking on the traditional homelands of the Alsea tribe, now part of the Confederated Tribes of the Silex, a diverse group representing many bands of indigenous people. They have stewarded this land since time immemorial and still live and thrive here.
The Yachats is a band of the Alsea tribe and live near what is now Yachats. Much of their ancient coastal archaeology has been buried under a rising ocean, but existing middens date their presence here from 10 to 13,000 years. The name various bands called themselves simply meant the people. The tribal names used today are those given to them by other bands or tribes to note their geographical location, like the people where the beach trail ends, one interpretation of the many similar sounding names of Yachat, a European transliteration of their name. The Yachat were hunters and gatherers, spending winters inland and summers near the sea. By the early 1800s, disease carried by fur trappers and traders spread to the native population. With no immunity, these epidemics wiped out most of the population.
A remnant survived only to be herded onto reservations where they could not continue their sustainable practices of hunting and fishing. Due to the deplorable treatment at the hands of government agents, many people died from malnutrition, starvation, exposure, abuse, depression of spirits, and diseases such as tuberculosis. But some survived. Amanda, a Coos woman, was the common law wife of a white man. They had a daughter, Julia. After the establishment of the reservations, soldiers removed Native people to these reservations, even if they had children, unless they had a legal marriage to a white person. Amanda's husband refused to marry her. In 1864, she was forcibly taken from her daughter and her home on the southern Oregon coast and was marched to Yachats, about 80 miles, in winter. Amanda was blind, and she had a terrible time climbing around Cape Perpetua. She tore her feet horribly over those ragged rocks, leaving blood sufficient to track her by, said an Army corporal who kept a journal. Amanda disappears from all known written records, and we do not know how long she survived or if she ever saw her daughter again.
I was wondering if the benches are here because the people had nowhere to sit. And this is kind of remembering them on their journey of sorrow and saying here now is a place to rest.
That's beautiful. I was thinking that people come here to just have a moment of remembrance. You know, all kinds of people. Obviously, people who feel a deep cultural attachment to this place. This is sacred. This is sacred. Sacred space.
And you can't tell all their stories, but their stories are told through her story. Boy, if you stop and look at stuff, it's so cool. Let's go get a beer and a sandwich.
Okay.